Christina. And if you would all do me a favor and just close your eyes and imagine something with me. I'd like for you to imagine a 12-year-old girl in middle school. She goes to school every day where she's the target of unwanted attention from girls at school. They call her names, they pick on her, and they make her completely miserable. She spends all day in school trying to just get through one day so that she can go home and get away from these girls. Only once she gets home, there's still no escape. They continue to torment her via Facebook and text messaging. They tell her how she should just kill herself, that no one likes her or even wants her. Meanwhile, all she wants is for the torture to stop, to feel as though someone cares. This goes on, day in and day out for over a year. Her only escape is writing out how she feels in her diary. Then one day, she finally reaches her breaking point. As tears fall from her eyes and hurt wells up inside her chest, she walks down the street to an abandoned plant. She proceeds to climb the tallest tower she can find, and with one last cry of hurt and sadness, feeling as though no one cares, she jumps to her death, forever ending the torment that no one else would or could stop. And for her, death was the only answer. Now open your eyes. This is the story of 12-year-old Rebecca Ann Sedgwick from Lakeland, Florida. And this is also the reality for thousands of kids every day. According to the CDC, suicide is the third leading cause of death among young people, and it results in about 4,400 deaths a year. And today, I will be talking about the effects of bullying, and by the end of my speech, you will be aware of some of the misconceptions, such as kids are just being kids, some of the statistics, like the deaths and other effects and consequences, like the long-term effects if nothing is done to stop it. Now that I've stated my three main points, I'd like to address my first point. We have misconceptions about bullying. Bullying doesn't exist. It is just kids being kids. More than 160,000 students in the U.S. stay home from school each day for fear of being bullied. Kids just need to toughen up. They are too sensitive. Well, according to Deborah Sherman Coughlin, which is a PhD, in an article that she wrote, she says if a person hears how worthless they are enough, they eventually start to believe that they are somehow flawed. Now, you wouldn't sit back and watch as a parent did this to a child, or as a spouse did this to their spouse. So why would you sit back and make excuses for children doing it to other children? Bullying is not harmful. Over 14% of high school students have considered suicide, and 7% have attempted it. Next slide. Now that I have dispelled some of the misconceptions of bullying, I'll show you some of the facts. If you look over here, you can see between boys and girls the suicide rate for ages 15 to 19 years old. While boys are more apt to be successful in their attempted suicide, girls actually attempt it more than the boys do. And this graph shows you by the 100,000s, look how it was in 1990, 1995, even in 2010. Even one child killing themselves because of how they're made to feel by other children their age is too many. Over here, you have the frequency of the bullying. Some once or twice in a year. Some every day of the week. Yet not even half of them report it to an adult. I have a son who was experiencing bullying. He was told by a teacher if he wasn't so stupid and annoying, he wouldn't get picked on. Why would a child tell any adult what's going on if nothing's going to be done about it? And then you have down here the different types of bullying. And even here, there's a difference between how boys and girls are bullied between each other. Boys, it's more verbal and physical, whereas girls is more exclusionary, cyber, and through rumors. Now that I've shared some of the statistics on bullying, I'll let you know some of the negative effects if we do nothing about bullying. You have increased depression and anxiety in young children and teenagers. And you also have the increase in school shootings and violence. And it directly affects the ability to learn and concentrate in class, because who can concentrate when they're constantly worrying about where the next attack is going to come from? So now I have my call to action. Who in here would be willing to visit Mark Merrow's Champion of Choice's website at thinkpause.org and encourage schools in the area to invite someone like him to speak at their school on the effects of bullying and how raising child's self-esteem? By a show of hands, would any of you be willing for that? And if you wouldn't do that, would you at least be willing to educate yourself and others on the dangers of ignoring bullying? Thank you.